What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the We Run on Coffee podcast. I am Arika.
And I'm Marissa.
And today, Marissa's going to be hosting us on a little game night adventure, if you will. We're going to be playing the game called Let's Get Deep. But before we get deep, if you will, we're going to talk about what we're drinking. And then we're going to kind of talk about what we're looking forward to in the coming weeks, which is going to be exciting. But for this episode, we're filming in the evening, recording. Gotta get out of the YouTube brain. We're recording in the evening. It's like 7:30, so we have alcohol-y bevies.
Yay!
So what are you drinking? We're both drinking something new, which is exciting.
So I think that this is basically a tequila sunrise, but a little different.
Yum. Okay.
I did like equal parts of coconut tequila, pineapple juice, and orange juice. And then I put a little grenadine at the bottom so it looks cute.
It's stunning. You have to take a picture.
Thanks.
Wait, should we hold them up and take a selfie?
Sure. I'm going to mess it up immediately after, though, because I want it to be all mixed together.
Oops. Yeah, of course. Like, you can't ever leave it like that. 1 second. Sorry. There we are. Cute. Okay, you guys. Sorry for the pause. We had to take a selfie with our little Zoom window.
That's so funny.
It's actually really, really cute. I'm going to send it to you, but that's a cute drink. I love that for you.
Thank you. What are you drinking?
Oops. Okay, so if you all listened to last week's episode, I was drinking a lemonade in a wine glass just to feel something, you know? So I kept it. We're having Bojangles lemonade in a wine glass, and then I just put in a shot of Absolute vodka, and it's raspberry Absolute.
Ooh.
And then I put in this, which is one of my new favorite Polar flavors. This is the Polar raspberry pink lemonade. So perfect flavor combo, and I just added that just to make it sparkling. Honestly, it's kind of flames, and we all know I don't make a good drink, so I'm happy with that.
I really like my drink too. I think it's I'm going to rate it an 8 out of 10.
Wow, that's high. Honestly, me too.
Oh,
8 out of 10. I'm going off with it because it's honestly so good. Also, I have a wild headache right now.
Oh, no.
But I was like, you know, I know that this is not going to get better via alcohol, but I'm going to take one for the team, you guys.
It's also probably not going to be better via anything else, so why not?
So why not fuck it up? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I just sent you the picture. It's so cute.
I'm so excited to look at it.
Yeah,
okay.
Let me I don't know.
Okay.
No words.
Okay. I'm going to do
let me write this down, but you guys don't care what I'm writing down, so let's let Marissa catch up. Or
I'm
look forward to
my look forward to's right now then.
I have barely any, I'm not going to lie.
That's okay. I have like 2. So not that
Same.
many either. Okay, so this week is going to be a busy week. As you heard me last week talking about my overtime and stuff. Hopefully I get to go to work tomorrow so I don't have to shove 11 hours
crossed.
of overtime in 5 days.
Yikes.
But I am doing a bunch of overtime, which is really good because I just got a really big raise because my company did an entire compensation review, and it was on top of my performance review, and I also got a promotion to senior technologist because I hit my 2-year mark. So I ended up getting a pretty decent raise, and with the overtime, it is mandatory, but I'm okay with it because I'm getting a bunch of extra money now.
Get it?
And the word mandatory, it seems bad, but honestly, if I'm getting extra money, I don't really care if the word mandatory is in front of it because I probably would have done it anyway with the new pay that I get.
Yeah, exactly. Rack it up, girl.
Yeah.
It's a working girl summer for you.
It is a working girl summer, but I am excited because I do have a couple things that are coming up that I'm going to be able to relax the girl summer with.
Ooh, we love.
The first one's not super relaxed, but it's just an extra fun thing. So my work is doing softball again, and I know I probably talked about this last summer. We were supposed to have our first game this past Wednesday, but we got a super bad storm, and we were under a heat advisory, so the games ended up getting canceled. So that means our debut game is going to be this upcoming Wednesday.
Wow. How fancy. I'm so excited.
Debut on the field, even though I'm horrible.
You guys get matching shirts?
Yeah.
Love.
I am going to be pitcher this year, I think.
Oh, fun.
Because the pitcher we had doesn't work like for the company anymore. So hopefully I'm okay with it. And we'll see.
Okay. That's so fun. I love that.
Yes. I'm excited to see how this season goes. Kyle won't be able to go to the either game, I think. So we will see. But
you'll be on your own.
I know. It'll be unfortunate. Owen's on the team. Mara's on the team. So it'll at least be fun and I'll be with them.
Yeah. A friend affair.
I know. And then
Nice.
next Saturday, I'm going to bottomless brunch with Owen,
Fun.
Mara, and Brooke, and I am so excited.
Love. That sounds
We're
like a lot of fun. I've never done a bottomless brunch ever.
They're like all over the place over here, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's just like a city thing or if it's like a here thing, but we're
Yeah.
going to a place called Johnny Pistoleras, I think is the name of it.
Okay.
And it's $48 and there's a prefix menu, but
Mhm.
you can get here, let me just pull up the menu really quick so I can
Yes, give us
tell
the
you
menu.
what it's about.
Love.
But like I said, it's kind of like a prefix menu, so you don't have that many options to choose from. But they have starters, they have chips and salsa, queso, guac, and then elote.
Yum.
Then they have some egg dishes. They have like others, which is like a tostada, chicken and waffles, and flautas.
Mhm.
And then they have some tacos, and they have like different dessert options and then side options as well. And then you have to have a minimum party of 4. You get it for 2 hours, and the entire table must participate. So we're having exactly 4 people. We're going to be there for 2 hours. And it says on here that their mimosas are included in the price. But if you want like Bloody Marys, sangria, or like margaritas instead, you have to pay 25 cents a drink on top of the base price.
Oh, that's not very much.
No, it's
per,
not.
per drink. But
And-
damn, that's fun.
Yeah, and like $50 is a lot, but you get as much
Yeah.
food and as much drinks
Yeah,
as you can have in 2 hours.
If I was sitting there for 2 hours, I'd be smashing.
I know. And
That's
I'm
fun.
probably just going to get like tacos because I know I'm going to order like one of each of the starters. So
Literally, I would order one of everything. That would be
I
so
know.
fun.
We were going to go to this different place called Medium Rare, and their bottomless brunch is $34. But since we're going with Mara and she has to be gluten free, we chose the place that has like the better gluten free options.
Love that. Yeah.
But I'm
Love
so
it.
excited. That was like my only other
Fun.
update. I am going to a baseball game here soon,
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's
that's
like right after we record
We
next.
record
So
next,
that's going
yeah.
to be my next looking forward.
Yeah, I just realized that that's why we don't have any looking forward to you guys, because
We
we're
only
recording
have
in
a week.
Yeah, quick turnaround this week. But I actually wrote 2 things, but I only have one. I wrote normal
Oh.
week. Like, oh, cool. Yeah, having a normal week. But it's honestly good because, we're always busy out here. So I just have a normal, regular week. I signed up for 3 dance classes this week. I haven't done any in a long time. We're always busy, like on a Wednesday night or whatever on the night of the classes I like. So I had just been skipping after the cruise. So 3 dance classes. And then this weekend is my best friend Cree. I talk about her sometimes. Her daughter Willow's 3rd birthday is coming up, and her birthday party is this
Aw.
weekend. So that's so freaking adorable. She's so funny.
Yay.
Actually, I'll show you this picture. I'll ask her if I can post on the Instagram too. I'm sure she doesn't care. But the other day, Willow was in like just standing in the garage, and she was wearing Spider-Man. She likes Spider-Man, so she was wearing Spider-Man pajamas, and she had on sunglasses, and she literally looked like the most like bad bitch attitude. It was like she looked like she had such a tude. It's the funniest picture of all time. Look at her hands in her pockets, and you can barely see it, but she's giving like the eyes. You can see the eyes. It is so funny. She's just giving like Angela said she looks like she's 6 years old and like she's been through some shit. I was like, yeah, it does.
She's
So
so
if
serious.
I can, I'll post it because so random. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to this week. And that's pretty much it. So
Yay.
honestly, it's good because in the last episode, we talked for like 35 minutes about
Mhm.
our week. So it's
Yes.
good that we're here at 10 minutes in and we can start our game.
Yes. So I'll give a little rundown of the game before I get started, like asking Arika the questions. Of
Yeah.
course, we're doing this virtually, so she doesn't have access to the questions. So I'm going to be picking all of the cards.
Yeah.
And like Arika said, this is called Let's Get Deep. It's technically a game for couples to like
a
get to
couple.
know each other,
Couple of
but
gals.
I think it works.
Yeah, I think it works.
So there's 3 different categories. There's actually 4, but the fourth group is an activity card, and we're obviously not going to do that because you don't need to see us acting a fool.
Yeah. You
But-
can't even see us, so that'd be awkward.
The other 3 categories are icebreaker, deep, and deeper. So I think we'll start out with like a couple icebreaker questions, maybe do like 10, 15 minutes of those, 10, 15
Love.
minutes of the deep questions, and then end on the deeper questions until we get uncomfortable or you get sick and
Perfect.
tired of us.
I love that. Yeah, maybe we'll see. I was going to say, maybe we'll have a shorter episode today, but you guys know what happens when I say that?
Probably not.
We never do.
I'm thinking that maybe I can read one to you and then I can hold one up like this and you can read it to
Cute.
me maybe.
Okay, that works.
Or we can just
like
both answer all of them.
Oh, yes. Okay, I was thinking we were both going to answer all of them, but we could do either. You pick.
Well, let's just both
You're-
answer all of
You're
them.
the game master. Okay, that works.
Okay, so the first card is an icebreaker 1, and this is
Love.
literally so stupid. Do you consider yourself an extrovert or an introvert, and
Not
why?
this question.
We're gonna
I'm gonna
skip that
say
one.
I'm gonna say ambivert.
Okay.
You guys don't
I'm
need to know
gonna
why because you
say,
heard the episodes.
yeah, I'm also gonna say ambivert, and you don't
Love.
need an explanation from me either.
That's funny. That would be in there.
Oh, this is a good one. What
Okay.
music or song reminds you of your childhood?
Ooh. For me, country music. But if I'm thinking of a song, I don't know if I've said this on the podcast or not, but I have this whole like slew of songs from my childhood that I call Florida songs. Have I talked about
Oh,
this? Okay,
no.
so my mom and I don't want to say a lot, but we used to drive to Florida like sometimes, not a ton, but more than regular people probably. And there would be like certain songs that I just remember listening to while we were driving to Florida. So in my
Oh.
head, they're just Florida songs. And one of them is like that song that says, "Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away."
Who
So
is
just
that
random songs
by?
like that. Uncle Cracker, or I think there's also a version by like Dobie something, Dobie Gray. I don't know. I could be
It's
wrong.
called Drift Away, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's a few versions, I think. Let's
Uncle
see.
Cracker's the one that comes up
Yeah,
first.
Dobie Gray. I was right. I think Dobie Gray might be like the original 1973. So
Oh.
I feel like that could be the original. And then Uncle Cracker's version is like very popularized, I will
Mm-hmm.
say. And that one's from 2002, so a lot newer. But yeah, just random songs like that come on. And I tell Angela, I'm like, oh my God, this is a Florida song. So it's just really, really random and funny. What about
Aw.
you?
I think it's really funny because my song gives the same energy of Drift Away.
Ooh.
It's Picture by Kid Rock.
I put your picture away.
Yeah.
That one's same. I love.
My mom and I used to sing like the duet of that song with each other.
Me and Cree used to do that, who I was just talking about with Willow. I was always the boy and she was always the girl.
Yeah, I think that I was always the girl, my mom was always the boy for
That's
some
so
reason.
cute.
I think my mom just really liked the song, and so she would just always like
Same.
sing it, and she was like, "Marissa, do a duet with me."
That is so cute. I love that. I put your picture away. That's a really good song.
It is.
Wow. I love that question.
That was a good one. Okay, another icebreaker one. Too hot or too cold? Why?
I know that we're going to be opposite on this, I'm pretty sure, because I'd rather be too hot.
I'd rather be too cold.
That's so funny. I
You
don't
can't
know.
just walk around the world naked, which is what you want to
Yeah.
do when it's too hot, and you can always put more
Put
clothes
more
on.
on. Yeah, I know this strategy, but I think this is my why is I hate the feeling of being cold more than I hate the feeling of being overly hot, which is just unpopular.
I hate sweating unless I ask for it. Like if I
Yeah.
if I'm sweating, I'm absolutely fine if like I
A
requested to sit at
workout.
the pool or if I'm the one
Yeah.
that's going to work out or whatever.
So true.
But I don't like just unsolicited sweating.
Unsolicited sweating, I'm dead. Yeah, Angelo's like he gets really cranky. Like he shuts down in the heat really quick, and then he'll come in the house for like 10 minutes in the AC, and then he'll be like, "Okay, what do you want to do?" And I'm like, "Oh my God." Like he goes from angry to like normal because he hates to be hot like that too.
I hate being hot. Okay, the next one. This is a good question. If you had to permanently move to a new country, where would you go and why?
Ooh, I don't know. I feel like I don't really know, but maybe Italy would be cool because their food's supposed to be really good, but I also don't know what I can eat over there and survive. Maybe everything, who knows? And Angelo has a lot of Italian heritage, and there's like a little tiny town in Italy that his family like is from, and they have like their name scribed on the like church and stuff, and I'm like, that'd be cool. So maybe it would be cool to just like continue on their legacy there. I don't know. What would you
Yeah.
pick?
Definitely like Scotland because
Cute.
it always gives fall vibes there.
Yeah.
It like doesn't really get above like mid 60s to 70s
That
and
would be so nice
the
for
summer days are super long, the winter days are super short, which I enjoy a super short like sunny day. Like I'm okay
Yeah.
if it's darker outside. And maybe that's just because like my vibe or whatever, but
Yes.
I think the photos are beautiful seeing all the castles,
it
the
is.
like Scottish countryside. I think it's so beautiful there.
Yes. I was just going to say that. It's literally so beautiful. We watch some YouTubers that are like, I say international, meaning not US. And I think they just bought a house in like I can't remember, like Greenland, Finland, one of those countries up there, and it is so stunning. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's amazing. I love it.
I also, my like dad's side of the family, like their last name is Scottish, like with a Scottish like
Cool.
crest and
Yeah,
everything. And I think that would be super cool to like go
that would be
because
cool.
like if you look at the etymology of my like maiden name, it's
Yeah.
like definitely means like some sort of like farm in
Oh my
Scotland.
gosh, that's cool.
And I think it'd be really interesting to see if like there are any roots there. And then my
Yeah.
mom, her like great grandparents came over during the Irish potato famine. So like I
Wow.
think it'd be really cool. Like they were the one of the families that came over. They had an O at the beginning of their name, and they dropped it to Americanize themselves. Like very, very Irish
Yes.
people.
That's what happened with Angela's family. That's so funny.
Really?
His last name is not what it is. Yeah. It is,
Huh.
but that's not what the original one is. I'll tell you after. But um yes, I think it's called anglicized when you anglicize.
Yes.
So like yeah, you drop it and it sounds more like Americanized basically. So they did the same thing, which I always talk about Angelo's heritage, so I'm going to throw this tidbit in. I always say I like learning about his stuff cuz I feel like I don't have like a heritage to learn about. Like obviously I do. Everyone does, but my mom's parents are both deceased, and then all I do know is what my 23andMe says, which is kind of weird because it's like,
Oh.
okay, I know, which it says I'm British, which is cool. It says I'm half British, half German, and I'm like, okay, awesome, but like my family doesn't know about their family history, or like people like I don't have like, oh, my great grandparents came from here or there and did XYZ. Like I don't know that stuff, so I'm always like ultra fascinated. I feel like
Yeah.
from other people's stories. It's so cool.
Yeah, it makes
Just
me
love it.
super intrigued too because I've never done 23andMe, but I would love to
Yeah.
someday. Like,
Oh,
I
it's
really hope
it's
to get
fun.
it as like a gift for both Kyle and I because
Yes.
I think that he has a good idea of where his family comes from just based off of like family like talks and stuff.
Yes.
But I'm a little bit more skeptical because my mom, her maiden name is like super like Hebrew, and it
Oh,
makes me
wow.
think like, oh, maybe like we could have like some Jewish ancestry in it.
Yes.
And then my great grandma, her maiden name was Mace, which I've heard that the generalization of like behind her name is that it came from maize, which is the
Oh.
word for corn in
Yeah, yeah.
Spanish,
Yeah.
and also the word for corn in like indigenous languages. And
Okay.
I've heard that she was like part indigenous, and I want to know if that's
Cool.
true. But
Yeah.
I've also heard, and the reason I'm skeptical is that a lot of like people that came over as settlers would say that they had indigenous blood so that they would feel entitled to the land that they weren't entitled to.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
just being somebody that is like obviously white makes me like really
Right.
be skeptical of like that
Yeah.
story.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Yeah. And the 23andMe thing is interesting too because when you get it back, you're like, oh, cool, I'm mostly British. But it does change over the years.
Mhm.
Like, it's not like a solid thing, right? That you get it and you're like, oh, cool, this is my whole ancestry. It's not. Like, I got mine, I don't know, many, many years ago, I think. I did it on my YouTube channel. And now when I go in there, it's like I used to have some percentages that were like called unassigned. Like, they weren't allotted anywhere.
Oh,
And now they're
yeah.
getting assigned, which
That's
is really
so
cool.
cool.
But it's like over time, they can get more and more data from your whatever. And I don't know, it's really, really interesting. So 23andMe is really cool.
Not to deep dive or anything, but Ancestry
Yeah.
and 23andMe and everything like that can be used to find serial killers.
Crazy. I mean,
Because of something called
that makes sense.
mitochondrial DNA, which is something that you inherit only from your mother, and that can be
So
traced
crazy.
to anybody that has the same maternal lineage as you. So if
Oh, wow.
anybody that has the same maternal lineage as you has done Ancestry and they have this arbitrary profile of somebody that may have
Yeah.
committed the crime, then they can maternally link you to that serial
Wow.
killer.
That is so crazy.
That's
Meanwhile, I'm
another
over here
reason-
like, go ahead, go ahead.
That's another reason I want to do my own ancestry
Yes.
too, because like who knows,
That'd
maybe
be
somebody
so
that I'm
crazy.
maternally linked to has done a crime.
And you can help. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's so cool. I'm like, meanwhile, I'm over here like, oh, I just left to do 23andMe because I can see if I have the like asparagus in my pea gene. Like they have all those dumb things on there, you know? Not dumb, but like the fun stuff. It's like, what is it called? Like, it's not called photogenic, but it's like called photonic or whatever, sneezing. Like you sneeze when you see the sun or whatever.
Oh.
It like tells you all that stuff. It's like, you're a heavy snorer. You sneeze when you see the sun, just all based off your sample that you give them. And that's the stuff that I'm like, this is so fun.
You've almost convinced me to buy it, even based off of just that.
I bought it for myself after a long time of being like, someone get this for me. Like, whatever. Me and Angelo just bought some tests and it was really fun. It was cool.
Oh, I would love to
I
do it.
recommend. It's fun too just to look at the stuff and see if it's true. It's like you prefer vanilla over chocolate. I'm like, oh my God, I do. And I guess the way that they do it is that they just take people with similar DNA as you and say what they would say to those answers. It's not actually an ice cream gene, you guys. But there are some that are. Like, what is that one? Oh, it's the
Cilantro.
cilantro. Yeah. So the cilantro one. Yeah. Interesting if you think cilantro smells and tastes like soap or not.
Yeah,
So
that
it's fun.
gene is also linked to if you think cilantro tastes like soap, you're more highly likely to be allergic to latex, I think.
So weird. I'm not, as far as I know, allergic to latex, but I do not do cilantro. And I also, reversely, will not buy blue Dawn dish soap because when I smell it, it smells like cilantro to me. Like they're
Mm.
just interchangeable to me. I think they
Mm-hmm.
smell the same, and I think it's bad. So I just
That's
don't do
so
any of it, which
interesting.
is so weird. Yeah. And then other people who love cilantro are like, "Oh my God, it's so good."
That's
So
so
it's funny.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that
This
was
is
a big
fun.
tangent, but that was really fun.
Yes. I love it.
Okay,
All
the
right.
next icebreaker one, window or aisle seat and why? And I think we're going to
Easy.
differ.
Easy. Aisle seat for the legs. I'm too long. I don't want to be scrunched
Oh.
up. I put my legs into the aisle, even though you're not supposed to, but like for the most part. And my secondary, well, no, that's my secondary reason is legs. Primary reason is so I can go to the bathroom without having to climb over people because social anxiety.
Yeah, I also say aisle because I pee a lot and
Ooh.
I also hate flying. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
like to not have to look out the window if I can avoid it.
I'm an aisle seat all the way. I don't mind, like, I like looking out the window, but to me, it's not worth it to sit over there. Like, I don't want to climb over everyone. And same. I pee a lot. And you guys know about my horror story on the way to the cruise. So, had to use the
Yeah.
bathroom a lot. Gotta stay in that
See,
aisle.
it's so funny that you say that though because Kyle really, really would say window seat and he
Oh,
is
wow.
like longer than you. So
Oh, I do not like that. I don't like having my feet over there. I don't know. I like putting my legs out and just getting them chopped by the cart. You know what I'm saying?
okay, this next one I think you're going to have a really hard time answering.
Ooh.
Play a board game together or go on a hike together.
It depends. That's so rude. It
I
depends on the
think that
day, the person, everything.
yeah, I think that these are interchangeable to me. If I want to have a day
Yeah.
inside, I'm going to choose board
Yep.
game, but if I want to go outside with them, I'm going to choose to hike.
100%. It depends on the weather, depends on the person. Like, I definitely have some friends that are like not into board games. I have some friends that are not into hiking. So it
Mhm.
just, can we just pick both? I say
Yeah.
both.
I think so.
Sorry, game. I pick both.
Any
I
more
love
icebreaker ones or are you ready to move on to deep?
deep, deep,
Okay.
deep, deep.
Okay. The first one is if offered
Ooh.
the opportunity to live on and populate a new planet, would you do it and why?
No,
Why?
because I don't want to die on the way to space. Because some things still explode, people. I'm not there yet. I'm not on board. What about you?
I think that if they offered me the opportunity and a lot of money and an opportunity to come back
Mm,
to Earth, I would say yes.
I like those conditions. I like the coming back part. You're like, yeah,
Hmm.
sure, I'll drop some kids on Mars and then I'll
Well,
come back.
it's like, what do I do? I get there with
Yeah,
my spouse and we pop out a
yeah,
couple of babies and then I'm just
yeah,
there with my own family. That
yeah. Like
doesn't
how
seem,
suck, how suck a
yeah.
whole world, and you can't even like. What are you gonna do? Just walk
And
around like
yeah, and then at
caveman?
that point, you're just going to grow old with your family because you can't repopulate with the rest
Right.
of your family.
No, that's a hard no for me. Yeah, the more I think about it, I'm like, that does not sound very fun.
No,
Sounds
I think it'd
lonely.
be interesting to take a trip
It's cool.
to see it,
Yeah,
but
sure.
not live there and
No,
continue to
populate.
repopulate it.
Yeah, literally
Because
your only job's to populate. Jesus Christ.
yeah,
No.
especially like being a woman, like I could just see us being used like in The Handmaid's
Yes.
Tale just to repopulate the earth. So I'm not
I'm
gonna do
dead.
that.
Literally. Oh my God. Yeah, it's a no for me.
Okay, next deep question. If you had a chance to ask the government one thing, what would you want to know? Mine is
Oh.
easy.
Oh, say yours. I don't have one.
Are aliens real?
Ooh,
And like,
that's
can
very
I see the
interesting.
proof? I guess
Yeah.
that's my question. Can I see the proof that aliens are real?
I want to know. Have you ever seen the show Designated Survivor? Or you know the concept of a designated survivor?
Yeah, I know the concept. I
I
have not seen the show.
I would just be like, who's the designated survivor? And does it change every time or is it the same person every time? And that makes me sound like I want to talk to designated survivor. I don't. I'm just curious. I'm like, I want to Instagram stalk the designated survivor of
You're like, I don't
homeless
want to
thing.
hurt them. I just
No, I
want to
just
know
want to
how
know
they
who they
live
are.
their
I'm like,
life.
no, the way I love, like, tell me if you relate, but my mom sometimes she'll call me and she'll just tell me some stuff going on in my town that I'm not like in anymore, and I'm like, oh, I live for the juicy small town gossip that I'm not a part of. It is
Yeah.
so fun. So part of me is just like, oh, it'd be a little juicy to know who the designated survivor is and to know that I can't tell anyone. I'm like, ooh, I would like a little secret.
Yeah.
So random, but that's the only thing I can think of that I'm like, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
That
I'd
is a
ask
good
if
one.
maybe I'd ask if we're maybe I would ask if we're further along in like technology than what we think,
Then
you
what
know,
like is perceived?
than what we see. Yeah, than what we're given. Because that'd also be interesting. But yeah, I don't know.
It is also so scary.
Yes, very.
I
So
think that the answer to any of the questions that we just proposed would
yes,
terrify us to know the
yes,
answer.
and then
Like
we'd
if
just be a
I,
ball of anxiety for the rest of our lives.
yeah, if I went up to somebody and I said, "Show me the proof that aliens are real," and
Yeah,
they
and they
showed
do.
me, I
You'd be
would
like,
have to die, I think.
you'd be like, I'm going to repopulate Mars. Bye.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Oh my god, that's funny. I
Okay,
like
this
it.
next one is deep at a different level.
Okay.
Do you see value in spirituality and religion? Not necessarily do you
Oh,
like hold yourself like,
yeah.
or do you like see yourself as like religious or spiritual, but do you see the value in it?
100% yes is my answer. I feel like how I see, I don't know, everything is like if something works for someone else, whether it works for me or not, and it can give them like a sense of life, like a sense of purpose, a sense of happiness, any of those things, a sense of faith, like anything like that. I'm like, if it works for you, then I want to be happy for you that it does, you know? So that's kind of how I think of it. And so I would say 100% yes. And
Yeah.
it's not the question, but I'm not religious, I guess, but maybe I'm spiritual and I'm kind of like, I'm kind of in my journey of figuring that out actually. And I just think like whatever works for people to believe in that like carries them through. I love that. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I also agree that I think if you're somebody that can like have a conviction in something as
Yeah.
like serious as spirituality or like in a religion, all the power to you. I obviously think that like I find value in you because you find value in
Yeah.
that, because
Yeah.
I find more like of
Agree.
a value in like humanity and like thinking
Yeah.
that everybody is like okay to believe what they want to believe. And we've had this
Yeah.
conversation before. We're never
Yeah,
going to
for
judge
sure.
people for like what they like, their hobbies, whatever. And this like goes for spirituality and religion too, I think. So like I'm not going to think that anybody's wrong for believing it, but on the same side of that, don't go around and push it down people's throats at the same
Yes.
time.
I don't love that. And that's also what I was thinking is like if someone's feels like their religion is I don't know. I guess I would say like, oh, I wouldn't judge you for whatever your religion is, but I'm probably lying because like I've watched the Scientology documentary and I don't
Mhm.
know if I believe in that, but that's someone's religion and that's someone's whole life and
Mhm.
you know, it's so actually it's a very complicated and I don't know if I can say I wouldn't judge someone because I probably would, but that's going back to I think something I said a lot of episodes ago is like I want to be able to say I don't judge people, but I do. And I think we probably all have that flaw a little bit in ourselves. But yeah, I want to try to just I don't know, take a more humanistic approach of like Angela and I always say this when especially when we run into people that don't, we give everyone like a baseline human level respect. Like you're a
Mhm.
human and I'm a human and we have respect for each other and that we have to live this life in the same way. Like we both have to live this life, right? But then there's some respect that we feel can be earned, right? So like
Mhm.
people that treat you really well or people that don't treat you really well or people that do really great things for the world or people that are doing horrible like serial killer or whatever doing horrible things for the world. So I don't know, I feel like I don't know, there's a deeper conversation there for sure.
Yeah,
It's
and I agree with what
complicated.
you're saying of like saying the thing about like you don't judge people, but if I saw somebody that was in a thing that was obviously a cult, like I might judge them and not necessarily in like a rude way. It would just be like, I'm so sorry you got yourself into
Yeah.
this and I'm so sorry that I can't help you out necessarily.
Yeah, and I feel like I have a similar thing and where I have like a protect myself way. So it's like if someone were to be into something that's considered a cult, which we looked at the definition of cult the other day and it's very, you know, anything could be a cult. Like it's
Mhm.
very general. But if someone's in what we perceive as a cult or like a bad thing and that was really serving their life and they're like genuinely not hurting anybody, but it seems sketchy to me, I'm going to protect myself and give them human respect. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm going to give you human respect because you're a human. And like, whatever you believe is what you believe. And that's our freedom that we're allowed to have, which is incredible.
Mhm.
But I'm going to protect myself and I'm going to like, distance myself. I feel like that's how I feel
Yeah.
about those kind of things, you know?
Yeah.
Wow, deep.
So cute.
I feel
I
like
feel
I
like
look super creepy right now.
I think
I'm
one
like
of my
in a
ice
dark room.
cubes just like popped and it scared
Oh,
the crap out of me.
I'm like, oh my god, who's in my house?
I know. I've been
A
watching spooky movies too much and
little
I'm
too
home
much.
alone. I'm so
I know.
scared.
It's so funny that I'm seeing you and I'm like, why does Marissa look different? And it's because you don't have glasses
I
on. And I'm
just
like,
took them
it's
off.
so crazy though, because we haven't had glasses for that long. So to already look different when we take them off is so funny.
The reason I took them off is not because like they were hurting my eyes or whatever. I was getting so annoyed that there was such a bad glare in them.
That's funny. I don't even look at myself, but when I do, I'm like, oh, my whole room's black. I look like a creepy ghost.
See, but
But
you don't have any
sometimes
glare on your glasses and mine were like literally just all glare.
it's because I'm like this. I'm slouching. But I hate sometimes though wearing them with these headphones. They hurt my ears. So
Yeah,
sometimes I take them off too. But yeah. Anyways, that was so deep. Oh my gosh, these are crazy.
I know. Another
All
deep
right.
one.
Okay.
Name a healthy activity that you wish you did more often.
Ooh, that's a nice question. I don't know. Do you
I
have one?
think mine is stretch.
Oh
And if you
yeah.
remember back
That was
to
a
my
resolution.
if you remember back to my New Year goals, it was to stretch
Yes.
almost every day,
Goals.
and that has not been happening.
I think mine is similar, but I think mine is yoga specifically because
Mm.
I always feel really good when I do it, but for some reason getting to do it is hard for me. Like to turn on the video and I'm like, and sometimes me and Angela start and I will just be making fun of the video. And I'll be being really silly and just being like, this is how stupid, blah, blah, blah. And I have a really hard time like getting there sometimes. Once I connect to it and like shut the fuck up and sit there and do a yoga and like let my brain go and lay in shavasana and like really let it go. Oh my God, I feel so good.
I
So I would say
love
yoga.
yoga.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm just like, I need to do it more.
Yeah.
I need to force
I
myself to
agree.
start.
I think I need to do it more often too.
Love.
What hobby would you pick up if time and money weren't an issue?
Ooh, taking out time and money. I'm like, now I need to think bigger.
Yeah. But a hobby, it can't be like a whole new thing.
I don't know. Time and money wasn't an option. I would love to be a professional dancer.
Hmm.
That's something like, I don't know, it's a sport or a hobby. I don't know what you want to call it, but like
I
it's
think
something I
it's
do
a
as a hobby
hobby.
now.
Yeah.
So I would say that because that has always been my dream. And sometimes I have regrets. I'm like, oh, I should have become a professional dancer, which is not too late, but it does take a lot of time. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it takes a lot of money to get you in the rooms you need to be in sometimes.
Definitely.
But that's what I'd pick. Maybe like Dance with Stars vibes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I had one.
I know it's actually a hard question once you take time and money out because there was a couple things I thought of right away and I'm like, well, no, I could go bigger.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like I see this is the issue is that people call me a hobbyist. I jump around and I do a bunch of different things, but I don't see any of those really as hobbies.
Yeah.
I see them as like passions, which is because like I am so passionate about the hobbies that I choose to do.
Right.
But I think maybe being a fitness instructor.
Ooh, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that for you. That's really cool. Imagine you on the cycle instructor podium.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun, or just like doing some sort of group exercise so that I can teach like bunches of different kinds of classes.
Oh yeah, that sounds really fun actually.
But you have to pay
Cute.
money to be certified.
Certified,
and then you have to go
yeah.
through auditions and stuff, and it's a
That's
lot.
crazy. I feel like you'd be good at that though. That would be fun.
Okay, this one's really funny, so I'm not going to ask while you're taking a sip.
Okay, I'm ready.
If you could have any style, haircut, no judgment or repercussions, what would it be? I feel like yours isn't going to be fun because
I
like,
know. It's not.
I feel like
I
I,
was
can't
thinking
even
that
answer
too.
this because I've done all the colors of hair. Like
Yeah.
I've done all the different types of like outfits, I guess.
Well, no repercussions, like, and no judgment. Does that also mean from yourself? Because if it does,
I think
maybe I
so.
would shave my head just to feel what it feels like. Wouldn't that be cool? Just like to see. But I don't think I would like it. Like I think my hair, like many people, is like a security blanket. And I'm like, oh, when my hair looks good, I feel like I look better, whatever. So if I took off my hair, I feel like I might get a little insecure. But if it's no judgment from myself and no repercussions, then maybe I'd do that just to see
I think
what it's
that's
like.
a good one.
Yeah. Why not try it out?
Yeah. Okay, another one. What are the 3 most important traits that you look for in a partner? I guess so you could just,
Cute.
if you're thinking of it like, if you want to like give advice, or you can think of it as like, what are 3 things that you really admire in like Angelo?
Yeah, that's cute. I will say 3 things that I was like, or that I think are like top tier, or like things I would have looked for when I was like dating or whatever. But 3 things that Ansel definitely has, like for sure, sense of humor that's similar to your own, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's lots of different kinds of sense of humor, but I feel like we have the same one. So we're just always like being really stupid and really silly. So that, like honesty / trustworthiness in the same one. Someone that you can not necessarily just have trust right away, which is nice. And I feel like we have always trusted each other a lot, but you could build trust with or whatever. Someone you can rely on, honest and trustworthy. We're always honest with each other. Oh my gosh. That's something big that I think some people say they want, they don't actually. And some people really do want.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I actually have something that looks weird about my outfit, like I really do want you to tell me. I don't want to go out looking like a fool. Like I love a true honesty. And then, I don't know how to call this, but maybe just like work ethic. Not necessarily something I look for, but it's really cool that Angelo's like a super hard worker, and he'll be a super hard worker for whatever he's working on. So if he's doing a house project, you better be damn sure it's going to look professional. Like he's going to do it really good. And if he's at work, he's working really hard to like fix planes and make sure that they can carry out their mission and like get people saved. You know, like he really works hard at whatever he's working at. So I guess work ethic, if that's one.
Yeah.
So that's cute. Okay, what are yours?
I think honesty is the first one that came to my head too. And then communication, like being good at communication and being able to talk about anything, because as you know, your girls can talk. So
Yes,
I don't want
can.
you. I mean, I also want you to be a good listener, but I want you to be able to like for lack of a better term, this
Keep
is what
up.
I've been saying recently, is entertain my bullshit.
I love that. Wait, I'm obsessed. I'm writing this quote down. That is so
I've
good.
been saying that so much to Kyle recently. I'm like, can you just entertain my bullshit for a second?
Oh, that is so good.
But he came back and he got me. He said, well, I'm so glad that you can realize that it's bullshit. And I said, you need to pipe down.
That's so Kyle of him. He's got a good
know.
comeback sometimes.
So I want you to be honest with me. I want you to entertain my bullshit. And I also want you to be really caring of a person.
Love. Yeah, that's so Kyle. Oh my God. Kyle is a very caring person. That's really cool.
Yeah, but he is also somebody that's willing to entertain my bullshit too.
So. I love that. That's so cute. Guys, before I was a little ghost on a black screen that Marissa saw. Now you can't even see my face.
Now she's a ghost on a white screen.
I have issues. Anyways, that was a
okay.
good one. All right.
Okay, this one's funny. What is an ability that you would like to have and why?
That's a very broad question. That could be anything.
I think you can start thinking of it as like superpower, but then think of like any ability.
Yeah, I was thinking of like humanly abilities, I guess. If I had a superpower, like as a kid, when someone asked me, I'd always say invisible. What would you say?
I don't know what I would say as a kid. I don't think I was ever really asked that question often.
Oh, that's funny. I feel like I was asked that all the time. It's like, what superpower would you have? I'm like, invisible. I don't know why.
Well, you're invisible right now.
I know. I'm like, I wish you could see me. But I'm trying to think of like a humanly ability. Something that's like...
She's back.
I'm back, baby. Something that's like, I don't want to say normal, but just like something other people can do that I can't. Oh, I know immediately, actually, when I put it like that. I wish I could sing really well. Like, I wish I could be like a singer. Like, I love singing so much that it's painful how bad it is sometimes. I'm like, I'm sorry, everybody, but I'm just going to sing because I love it. But I do wish I had like a strong singing voice. That would be cool.
I think that mine, it's more of like something that you would think of as like a superpower, as like a superhuman ability. I really wish that I could see ghosts.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good one. That is so you.
This is what I've been talking about. I talked about this like last week with Kyle. I talked about this yesterday with Owen when we were watching like our spooky movies and stuff. And it is so much more comforting to me that if you die, you can still walk the same plane as people that you love that are still alive. Yeah, it is not super comforting to me to think that you go to a place called heaven or hell that is not necessarily on the same plane as you. And it makes me more comfortable to think that I can walk Earth like I have
together.
Yeah. Or even if like everybody that I have loved has passed, just like thinking of like walking the earth that I'm familiar with.
That you know. Yeah.
And not having to learn a new terrain. So that's what makes me think like, who knows if I believe in ghosts, but it's more comforting to me to believe that could exist.
That's fair. That speaks to like the spiritual question almost. Yeah. That's cool.
I just came up with like that explanation of things the other day, and I feel like it is very important and like helpful in my brain.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. All right, should we get deeper? We're at 40 minutes.
Yeah, we can go deeper.
Okay, let's go. Let's do a couple deeper.
Oh, this one I don't think is gonna work. This is like where the couple part comes into it.
Oh, I'm dead.
It says, "What do your friends think of me?" So that's not super
sad. My friends don't really know you, which is really sad.
I know.
Hopefully you get to meet more of my friends. And I haven't met your friends either. That's actually sad. I mean, I met some of your friends at the wedding, but I haven't met your DC friends.
No.
And also the wedding was like, busy.
Yeah.
Sad.
Oh, this one doesn't work either. It's what are your love languages?
Oh, we've done this, right? We did that on the pod. My love language is words of affirmation, I think.
Mine, I thought was acts of service, but I think it was actually quality time when we did the
love.
The quiz.
That sounds like you put it in there on purpose. Everyone go check out our 5 love languages episode where we talk about our 5 love languages. And on Instagram, if you just want to see our results, you don't want to listen to the episode, go on the Instagram because they're there too. That's so funny.
Okay, this one actually works this time.
Okay.
If we switched lives for a day, what do you think I would do first? So you answer what you think I would do first, and then I'll answer for you.
Okay. I think you would. Oh, this is so interesting. To say, like, I know some things you would do, but I'm trying to think of, like, first things first.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you'd... maybe you'd go to my work.
Funny answer.
What? What is it?
I would reach the top shelf.
She'd be tall. She'd stand up and be like, "What the fuck?" Like, whoa!
I can reach the top of the
different
shelf.
up here. Wait, that's actually hilarious. I guess maybe the first thing you would do is go to my work and pretend like you know what you're doing. I don't know. I'm like trying to think. I'm like, you definitely get up, make a little coffee in my Nespresso machine. You know how to use it and everything. But I don't really know. That's hard.
I think I would definitely reach for the top shelf if I were you for a day.
I guess so. She's going to go into the kitchen right above the stove where I keep the hot sauce. Reach up there. That's the highest shelf I can think of.
That is so funny. If we switch lives for a day.
I don't even know what my answer is yet.
What do you think?
Oh, I know. I would be short. Just kidding.
I think.
I know what I would do.
Okay, you answer.
Oh no, you say first. You say first, and I'll tell you. Okay. I'll save it.
I think that you. I don't know.
I think what I would do is I would wake up and I would be like, "Hey Kyle, it's Freaky Friday, so don't touch me. I'm not your wife. But let's go into DC." I would hop on that metro and just go right into the city because I would love to have that kind of access to something so easily. So first thing I thought of was like, let's go downtown and like go get food. Like how cool you can just hop on the metro, like walk to it and hop on. I'm like, I love that. I would. Which this it honestly sounds really stupid when you think about it, rudimentary, and just be like, oh yeah, I'd hop on some public transportation. But that's what I would do. We don't have trains.
It's really eye-opening that that's what you would do first because we don't take advantage of that nearly as often as we should.
Oh, sad. So, yeah, that's the first thing I think of is like, oh wow, the access is awesome. I would just go into DC.
I mean, it just reminds me that we really should be taking
that you have it. Yeah,
like more advantage of that.
Love.
Oh, I just
what
put that
a funny question.
Pile.
I would also stand next to Kyle and see what it feels like. Because I'm pretty when I stand next to Kyle, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. But if I was you and I stood next to Kyle, I'd be like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's so tall.
You're basically at nipple height with him at my size.
What a strange way to see the world, you know? Like so different. Imagine being tall and looking down on people. It's awesome.
It would be very fun.
That's funny.
Wish.
I love it.
Oh, I don't know if you have an answer for this because I don't have an answer for you, but I think it's a funny thing to think about. If you could change one of my opinions, what would it be and why?
Ooh, that is a good one to think about. That's hard to answer like quickly, like in a timely manner.
I think that your opinion that I would change is that I would make you a fall girly.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say you would make me like cycling class.
Oh, no.
I can't think of one.
I would make you hate summer just as much as I do so you could see what it was like.
I told Angela today, I said, actually, I've gained quite a soft spot in my heart for fall recently. I'm really loving fall, and I think Gilmore Girls has helped, so shout out to Gilmore Girls. But I do kind of look forward to fall more than I ever have. Winter, still a no from me, but like in the fall, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of sad to think about like moving out west and not having like the seasons change, Because I do
Yeah.
like the very beginning of fall, like September. I like
Mm-hmm.
that time of year. I like when it's still kind of warm but cooler, like 70s. I like that.
Mm-hmm. I just can't
Anyways,
wait. I'm getting like I'm to the point where I'm over summer. Like I'm over it. I need it to
yeah,
be
you're
September
done.
now.
That's how I feel like a month into winter. Oh my god. Everyone get ready for when we switch.
Yes.
I can't think of anything. I'm not like, oh, Marissa sucks. I just can't think of one. Maybe I would make you fall in love with Gilmore Girls. Not that you
I've
haven't,
I've been
but I would
thinking
like.
about it and
Have
wanting
you?
to watch
Oh,
it.
maybe we should. I think you should watch on September 1st. There's something about it. Also, the cool thing, I just looked on the calendar because I told Grace and Lauren, like, hey, if you guys want to come watch it with me, you can. And there's literally no pressure if you guys don't like the show. I don't care. Like, you don't have to come, but I'm just going to get wine. And it's like a whole thing. I love doing it every year. It's like my new tradition. And I told them, how perfect is it? September 1st is a Sunday, and September 2nd on Monday is Labor Day. So I don't have work. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh, I can
you're
just have a
right.
night, have a candle, have a bottle of wine, and just Gilmore Girls it up.
You know
But
what's so funny?
yeah.
That's Kyle's holiday at work. So he has to be
Oh,
on
no way.
call and he has
That
to like work the whole
sucks.
time.
Of course. Do you get off?
Yeah, Labor Day.
Okay. So maybe we'll have to have a virtual Gilmore Girls watch party. But we'll be here watching.
Yeah.
Maybe you should make a sneak appearance. You just show up in
Maybe.
Ohio. The girls are like, what the?
What
They're
the
moving
heck?
here soon, though. Grace and Lauren are moving near us soon. And for their housewarming, we decided we're going to do Barbenheimer and we're going to watch Oppenheimer and Barbie because
Ah.
they haven't seen either. I was like, how have I seen more movies than you guys recently? I was like, guys, they're literally so good. I loved both movies. Like, let's do Barbenheimer. So we're going to do Barbenheimer and get Chinese takeout. And I'm so hyped.
I want
It's going to be
that.
amazing. I know it's going to be fun. Anyway, so yeah, maybe I would make you love Gilmore Girls, but hey, maybe you will. You never know.
Maybe I will. Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, I'm kind of starting to love fall. I guess our wishes are coming true.
Yay.
Love.
Okay, the next
All
question
right.
is who would be your celebrity hall pass? And then it gives an example that it's somebody that you could have sex with if you met them, but I
Oh,
think we know what that means.
like we know what the hall pass is. Hard question. So I always think about these and I'm like, I don't actually know if I'd use a celebrity hall pass given the opportunity. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if
But
I would use it like it as a
but
hall pass.
yeah,
You
but
can
I would
think
say
of
my
it as
celebrity
like
crush.
yeah, a crush.
Hmm. Oh, this is hard because I just feel like I can't think of one.
You're gonna hate me because I ask people this all the time because
Oh,
I
really?
need their opinions because I cannot make one.
That's funny. I know this is what happens to me. Someone will be like, "What's your favorite show?" And I'm like, "I don't know, like Good Trouble." And I'm like, "No, you dumbass. Gilmore Girls is your favorite show." And I know when I pick a celebrity crush, it's not going to be who it actually is because I can't think of it in the moment. You
Oh,
know what I mean? I always do this under
yeah.
pressure. Okay, I need to Google some. Do you
Google
have some in your
some.
brain? I need to Google some actors.
I don't know.
I mean, there's typical ones like Michael B. Jordan or
Yeah, I was
whatever.
gonna
It's
say I
like
always
cool.
hear Michael B. Jordan.
Yes, of course. But I'm like trying to think of someone niche that I actually really like. You
I've
know?
been hearing Timothy Chalamet a lot, but I think that he's actually ugly.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Everyone's loving the guy from The Bear right now too, Jeremy Allen
Oh,
White. I'm like, meh, he's okay.
yeah.
Guys, I can't think of one celebrity crush. How bad is that?
That's okay. I've never really had one
I'm
because I'm
literally
not very good at
scrolling.
thinking about it.
I know, I'm not either. Like, I mean, Zac Efron's cool, I guess.
He looks
Literally, I
like
can't think of anyone.
he needs to be on the show Botched
He did
recently.
have, yes. Did you guys know this? So a lot of people were commenting like horribly mean things about his face, and then other people were commenting back because he got in an accident. And that's why he got his face done. It wasn't like for funsies, and so then everyone's
Oh.
like, okay, great, and I'm gonna go hate myself now. Thanks. Like now I
Yeah.
feel bad for making fun of him, but no, it definitely looks weird. It's like, oh yeah, you for sure got plastic surgery. Like this is not
Mhm.
undercover. This is not covert. Like
No, this is not a covert mission at all.
no, it is not. He looks very different, which is so sad. But yeah, I guess he
Yeah.
got in an accident. And he had to get like reconstructive surgery.
That's
Isn't that
horrible. I mean,
crazy?
he was doing that survival show on Netflix that I think was
His show
happening. Yeah.
or something else? Yeah, it was really good. We watched the whole show. I forget what it's called. So bad. All right, guys, I don't have a celebrity crush. I don't know what to say.
That's okay. We can move on.
I was
Don't hate
really
us.
trying to find one, but it's not working. Yeah, don't hate us.
Okay, my next one that I picked out is what amount of money would you need to have in order to consider yourself rich?
Ooh, that's a cool question. I don't know if I know until I have it. Like, I don't know if I know until it's like maybe it's more of a lifestyle than the amount.
Yeah,
And
I
then I
think
would
that
know the
this
amount.
this number is very different than it used to be as well.
Yeah, that's true. I was
I
just having this conversation with Dominic the other day too because he was just learning about like how someone is, what is that called? It's like if someone's worth $1 million, it doesn't just mean they have $1 million in their bank account. He was like,
uh-huh.
really? I'm like, no, it's like your assets and they add all these numbers up and it's not how much money you have in your hand. Oh, I don't know.
I think that it would have to be somewhere in a million range for
A million
me.
would be rich, yeah. I'm like that to me that's an easy rich and then I'm like maybe if you dip below that it could still be considered rich, but I don't know what kind of lifestyle I could live with 800 grand, you know?
Yeah, I
Like I don't
think
know.
that in my brain it's like 5 million. Because
Damn.
the only reason I'm saying that is because you can own a house outright.
Mhm.
You can also own a vehicle outright, and then you can sell it and still gain the equity from selling it.
Yeah, I have no idea how much. Like to me, I'm like $1 million sounds pretty damn rich.
And you would have no debt, so your net worth would literally be what is in your bank
Yeah,
account, which isn't
yeah,
always smart, but you could invest and still have no debt to your name.
yeah. That's crazy. I guess I'm just gonna say $1 million would make me feel rich. I guess, but I don't really know. I'm like, I don't know. Earning $500,000 a year would be pretty damn nice. So hit me up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what would be rich though. All right, should we do one more?
I
We're
know.
like
I'm
right there at
trying.
the end.
I've been skipping a lot of these deeper ones because they're very, very centered
Yeah.
on these ones. But
Sorry, guys. Sorry to disappoint if you have
I
like.
think this one's a good one, though, even though it is a bit couple centered. During conflict, do you prefer to talk things out right away or do you prefer to
Oh.
take calm down time?
Mm. I like both. Trying to think about it. I like both, but it really depends. I'm a both person. Like it really depends. Like I was telling Angela about this the other day. Like there's moments when I get literally so overwhelmed that I could like cry or just like punch something inanimate, like
Mm-hmm.
my bed. I do punch my bed quite often. If I just get like so overwhelmed, I have this problem where it's like overstimulated to the max and it just turns into anger really
Mm-hmm.
quickly. So if I'm like that, I want time. Get away from me. Don't talk to me. I want a minute. But if it's like a pretty low stakes, meaning like I'm not mentally unwell, like I'm mentally stable, like I'm good. If it's pretty low stakes in that way, then I'm like, okay, let's just talk it out, get it over with, move on. So I like both. What about you?
I never want to take time to calm down. I
Oh, you're just like
always
fix
want
it.
to talk about it.
Yeah, I think I'm probably like that more of the time because I'm like, if we just fix it now, then we don't have to like think about it anymore. We could just be done.
Mm-hmm.
Like apologize, move on, we're good. So that's kind of like the reason I like that, I guess. It's
The
just because
reason
like get it done.
I don't like taking time to calm down is because I think that one, it gives you more time to stew on it and then start to blame the other person. I think that if you talk about it in real time, you're less willing to make assumptions about the other person and just talk about it how it is
Mm-hmm.
and talk through it. And then I am often the person that if I take time to calm down, I'm not going to want to talk about it. So I want to do it in the
Mm.
moment because if I wait 10 minutes, I will completely not forget about it, but I will refuse to talk about it again.
That's interesting. I feel slightly opposing in the way that I'm like I said, if I get like really overstimulated or something, and I'm like, okay, I need to take a minute. Sometimes I realize like, oh, I'm not actually angry at Angelo. I'm just overstimulated. Period. And I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
not mad. So sometimes taking a second actually makes me realize that like I don't even need to have this fight. Basically,
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh, this wasn't ever an us problem. This was like a my brain problem. But I definitely agree with both ways, and I think that's why I use both tactics because I'm like, oh, sometimes it makes sense for me, and sometimes it doesn't. I like that. That's good to
Yeah.
know about people.
I also think like what you said is like you'll take a second to like think about it and see if it's really worth
Yeah.
having the argument or like having the conversation. I like to figure that out with the person because
Yeah.
sometimes if I'm talking about it out loud, then they can tell me from their point of view like if I'm being irrational or whatever.
Yeah.
And
For
then
sure.
from that point of view, then I can start to be like, okay, well, you're wrong, or, oh, you're right, and we can stop having this conversation.
Yeah. I think that's another thing that when we were talking about our 3 qualities we look for, that's actually an interesting one, is like how you like to handle stuff like that. Because I was just thinking like, oh, Angela's the same way as me, as we use both tactics. So sometimes we'll just ask each other like, do you want to have this conversation now, or should we like take a minute? And sometimes if we take a minute, I'll come back and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I was just angry at the situation, not at you. And then Angela will be like, no worries, I'm sorry too, because I didn't mean to like overstimulate you and push you beyond your point. And then it's like, oh, okay, we're cool. So I think we both use both, but we communicate about which one we're going to use.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I like.
Yeah. I feel
wow,
like
that
I
was
would
fun.
I feel like I would like to be able to like take a minute, but I just don't think that that's how my brain would work. I think that I would stew about it too much.
Yeah. And that's exactly like how we were saying. It's just like every person is so different. Living human life. Like, mic drop at the end. No, that's so true though. And yeah, I think it helps when you have a partner that like you communicate with enough that they know how you handle things. So it's like, oh yeah, we can cater to each other and it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah.
Love. That was fun.
I liked it.
I liked it too. That was a good game. Guys,
thanks.
It's not shorter than an hour. Sorry.
It was not.
Well, by 4 minutes, I guess, but you know, we keep talking if you wanted us to.
I can keep going with all the questions. I still got big stacks here. Look at this.
We should do it again. Maybe we should do it again and then just like skip the ones we answered today, because that'd be fun. Just like maybe, I was going to say maybe next year. That sounds so far away to you guys listening, but we're planned out, you guys.
I know.
We have a lot of ideas in the docket, so.
We do. Cool. I hope you're excited.
I hope you're excited.
At least 1 new idea next. No, 2 new ideas next
both
week.
Both new?
I have a lot of research to do for next week.
I know. Did you look at the page I made?
No.
Yikes. So should I tell them or no?
I think we can do a little sneak peek.
Okay, sneak peek. Next week's episode, you guys, we're going to be breaking down cruise stuff. So we're going to compare Royal Caribbean versus Norwegian Cruise Line, and we're going to talk about a lot of categories. So that's what I'm saying. I already did 3 Word doc pages of stuff, and it's just mine. I know. I feel bad.
Well, I am not going to come that prepared.
And it's okay. You'll see it. But when you go on there, I put like little spots where I'm like, Marissa, put your total. But I'm sure they don't have to be as crazy. But then also we're going to be doing our first Zoom guest interview. Woo! Are we going to say who it is?
I mean, you don't have to, because what if it doesn't work out? And what if it goes wrong?
Oh, that would be awkward. Stay tuned, you guys. See if it's going to happen. I think it'll work. On August 14th is the episode. So you guys see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see you then. But yeah, our first guest Zoom interview, and fingers crossed it goes well. And if it does, we have a few more that we're like having
at least
that we're going to
2.
do. Yeah. So we're excited. And, you know, if it works out well, you guys can let us know if you want to be on the podcast, listeners.
Yeah.
And we could just bring on some listeners. It would be so much fun. So I guess that's it. I've brought us to 58 minutes.
That's
2 more minutes would be a little dramatic, so I think we better just get it done. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. Thank you for all the countries you're listening from. We just had Russia added, so if you're a listener in Russia, let me know. You guys never do. I'm actually kind of mad at you guys. They never let us know.
There was 36 countries.
36 countries. So thank you guys so much for listening. We have so much fun doing this, and so hopefully someday you guys can make it our job. Come on, you guys. Share it.
Yeah.
Share it with your friends. So fun. Anyways, we'll be back next week and the following with 2 new episode concepts. So get ready. Get buckled in. They're going to be really fun.
And not to spoil it, but there's even new episode topics after that. There's 2 new episode topics after that. And then we get back to some normal ones for a little bit.
Yeah. Mid-September, we get into our fall content. We have some annual things, I guess you could say, because we did them last year. And honestly, I loved our fall content last year. I thought it was a lot of fun. So I'm ready.
My favorite.
I accidentally licked the mic. Sorry, guys. I licked you. Sorry. Anyways. Okay. Let's go. Follow us on Instagram at We Run on Coffee. Subscribe to our podcast wherever you find your podcasts. And I haven't said this in a while, but if you're listening on Spotify, swipe up on your screen and vote in the poll. I don't know what it'll be today, but it'll be something fun. Okay, that's all. Talk to you guys later. With that, I'm Erika.
And I'm Marissa. And we run on coffee. Bye.